Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the Real English Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Jack. It's so great to have you with us today.
Today, we're talking about a very tricky situation. Have you done many job interviews, Jack?
Oh, definitely. I've had quite a few. Why do you ask?
Well, our topic today is framing your flaws. We're discussing professional weaknesses and past failures.
Oh man, that's the dreaded greatest weakness question, right?
Exactly. It's so hard to answer. You want to sound honest but still capable.
Yeah, I used to say I work too hard. That never went over well.
Right. Interviewers see right through that. They really want a story of personal growth.
So, why is this lesson perfect for upper intermediate speakers?
Well, at this level, you already know how to list your basic skills.
Yeah, saying what you're good at is usually pretty easy.
But turning a negative experience into a positive story requires more advanced language.
That makes perfect sense. You need specific transition words to show how you improved.
Exactly. We'll give you the right vocabulary to sound professional and confident.
I love that. This is such a useful skill for the real world.
It really is. Are you ready to look at some key phrases?
Let's jump right into our vocabulary preview to get started. The first important word to listen for is setback.
I'll say it one more time for you. Setback.
This is a really great word for interviews, right?
Yeah, it really is. It sounds much better than saying failure.
Exactly. A setback is just a problem that delays your progress.
Right? It implies that you're still moving forward eventually.
Have you ever used this word in a real interview?
I have. Actually, I talked about a major project setback.
That's a smart approach. It shows you kept going.
Our next transition word to look out for is nevertheless.
Let me repeat that one for you guys. Nevertheless.
That word sounds a little bit formal, doesn't it?
It does, but it's perfect for shifting your tone.
Right. It's a very helpful contrastive transition word.
What does it actually mean in simple everyday terms?
It basically means despite what was just said previously.
Oh, I see. So you state your professional weakness first.
Exactly. Then you say nevertheless and share your positive action.
That's a really smooth way to pivot the conversation. The final word we want to highlight is proactive.
I'll read that one more time for you. Proactive.
I really love this word. It's all about taking charge.
Yeah, it means making things happen instead of just waiting.
Why is this specific word good for discussing professional flaws?
Because it shows you're actively fixing the problem yourself.
Good point. You aren't just letting the weakness control you.
Exactly. Hiring managers really love to see proactive employees.
I try to be proactive with my messy email organization.
That's a great example of personal growth right there.
Are you ready to hear these 3 words in action?
Let's jump right in and listen to our dialogue section.
Are you ready for your mock interview, Sarah?
Almost? Can we practice the weakness question first?
Of course, that one always makes people nervous,
It really does. I never know what to say.
right? So what's a real area you struggle with?
I honestly struggle with public speaking. It terrifies me.
Okay, that's a good start. Did it cause a setback at work?
Yeah, I missed a chance to pitch a project last year.
I see. How did you handle that situation?
I felt terrible about it. Nevertheless, I took a speaking course.
Oh, that's a great answer. It shows real growth.
Thanks. I want to show that I'm proactive about improving.
Exactly. You identified a flaw and took steps to fix it.
Right? I even volunteered to lead our next team meeting.
That's perfect. Have you prepared your opening statement yet?
Not quite. Let me grab my notes from the desk.
Sure thing. Take your time. We have plenty of practice ahead.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's look at the vocabulary from that dialogue.
Yeah, there were some really great words in there.
Especially for talking about mistakes in a positive way.
Exactly! Answering that greatest weakness question is pretty tough.
It really is. You want to sound honest, right?
Right. But you also want to sound very capable.
So, our first important word for today is setback.
Yes, in the dialogue we heard the phrase cause a setback.
What does a setback actually mean in this context, Emily?
Well, a setback is just a delay or a problem.
Right. It stops your progress for a little while.
Have you ever had a major setback at work, Jack?
Oh, definitely. I lost a big presentation file once.
Oh no, that sounds like a really huge setback.
It was. But calling it a setback sounds very professional.
That's a good point. It sounds much better than saying disaster.
Exactly. And then how did the speaker transition after that?
They used a really great transition word, which is nevertheless.
The phrase was, nevertheless, I took some action.
That word is a very useful transition for interviews.
It means in spite of that or however, right?
Yes, it smoothly shifts the focus. You admit the problem first.
And then you say, nevertheless, and talk about your solution.
Right, it shows you don't give up easily.
I use it a lot when I write professional emails.
Me too. It sounds very polished and mature.
What was the last big word we heard in the dialogue?
The last big word we heard is proactive.
Ah, yes. The phrase was proactive about improving.
Being proactive means you take action early on.
You don't wait for someone else to fix the problem.
Exactly. You step up and control the situation yourself.
Managers really love to hire proactive employees, don't they?
They absolutely do. It's a fantastic trait to highlight.
If you say you're proactive, it shows real growth.
It really does. You admit the weakness, but you own the solution.
That's the perfect way to frame a flaw. Let's look at how to build fluency with these ideas.
Right? We just learned some really great vocabulary words.
But how do we actually use them naturally in conversation?
It's all about finding the right phrase patterns.
Let's look at the idea of a setback first.
Okay, what's a natural spoken phrase for that?
Instead of just saying you had a problem, talk about recovery.
Right? You want to show your personal growth.
So, you can use the phrase bounce back from.
Oh, I love that one. It sounds really positive.
Yeah, it means you recovered from a tough situation.
How would you use it in a job interview?
I might say, I learned to bounce back from failure.
That sounds so much better than just saying you failed.
Exactly. It really shows your mental strength.
You could also say, our team bounced back quickly.
That's a great example. What about our next idea?
We talked about nevertheless in the last section.
Yes, that's a great formal word for changing direction.
But in spoken English, we often use having said that.
Oh, that's very common. I use it almost daily.
It softens a negative point, doesn't it?
Exactly. It helps you shift back to the positive side.
Like, I struggle with public speaking. Having said that, I practice often.
That sounds really natural and very professional.
Have you used that phrase recently at work?
Yeah, I said the project was hard. Having said that, we finished it.
See? It shows you are honest but still fully capable.
What's our final phrase pattern for today?
We want to show we are proactive, right?
Yes, we need a phrase for taking positive action.
So try using the phrase, take the initiative.
That's perfect for interviews. Employers absolutely love that phrase.
They really do. It means you act without being told.
How do you normally use it in a sentence?
I might say, I decided to take the initiative on this project.
Or maybe, she took the initiative to organize the new files.
Exactly. It shows you are a responsible leader.
These phrases really help frame your flaws perfectly.
They sure do. Try practicing them before your next big interview.
Now, let's listen to the dialogue one more time so you can hear how to take a proactive approach when discussing a professional setback.
Are you ready for your mock interview, Sarah?
Almost? Can we practice the weakness question first?
Of course, that one always makes people nervous.
It really does. I never know what to say.
Right? So what's a real area you struggle with?
I honestly struggle with public speaking. It terrifies me.
Okay, that's a good start. Did it cause a setback at work?
Yeah, I missed a chance to pitch a project last year.
I see. How did you handle that situation?
I felt terrible about it. Nevertheless, I took a speaking course.
Oh, that's a great answer. It shows real growth.
Thanks. I want to show that I'm proactive about improving.
Exactly. You identified a flaw and took steps to fix it.
Right? I even volunteered to lead our next team meeting.
That's perfect. Have you prepared your opening statement yet?
Not quite. Let me grab my notes from the desk.
Sure thing. Take your time. We have plenty of practice ahead.
That dialogue is so helpful for interviews, isn't it?
It really is. Sarah handled that weakness question perfectly.
Yeah, she admitted a real struggle with public speaking.
But she did not stop there, did she?
Right. She immediately showed how she took action to fix it.
Taking a speaking course is such a proactive step.
It turns a negative into a positive, right?
Exactly. It shows real growth to an interviewer.
Now it is your turn to practice these useful phrases.
We want you to feel confident in your next interview.
So, we have picked out some key lines from the dialogue.
Listen closely and repeat each phrase out loud after Sarah.
Are you ready? Let's hear Sarah read the phrases.
Can we practice the weakness question first? I honestly struggle with public speaking. It terrifies me. I missed a chance to pitch a project last year. Nevertheless, I took a speaking course. I want to show that I'm proactive about improving. I even volunteered to lead our next team meeting. You did a great job with that practice, everyone.
Yeah, repeating those out loud really builds your speaking confidence.
We hope you feel more prepared to answer tricky interview questions.
You can totally reframe your flaws into a story of growth.
Before you go, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
It really helps us create more English content for you.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's lesson.
We will see you again in the next video.
Have a great week and catch you next time.